When I talk to myself like this, the shift starts to happen. Self-talk is powerful. The way we speak to ourselves creates our reality. Every word is an affirmation, and what we tell ourselves shapes our lives. So let's choose words that support, uplift, and empower us. The power of loving words. When we speak to ourselves with love and kindness, we invite healing and transformation. Every positive thought, every loving phrase sends a message to our mind and body that we are worthy of love and success. Shift begins within. Change starts within us. When we change the way we talk to ourselves, we open up the possibility for new experiences. Self-compassion and understanding are the keys to unlocking the doors of transformation. Releasing negative self-talk. Negative thoughts hold us back. By becoming aware of when we criticize ourselves, we can gently replace those thoughts with affirmations of self-worth. It's a practice, but with time it becomes natural. And affirmations as tools for healing. Affirmations are a tool for reshaping our thoughts. I am worthy. I am enough. I deserve happiness. Are all powerful statements that remind us of our innate value. Repeating them every day is an act of self-love. Self-forgiveness is essential. We all make mistakes, but we are not our mistakes. When we talk to ourselves with compassion, we allow room for self-forgiveness. This frees us from guilt and shame, making space for growth and change. You are your own best friend. Imagine if you spoke to yourself the way you would speak to a dear friend. You'd be encouraging, loving, and supportive. It's time to be your own cheerleader, to speak words of encouragement and belief in your potential. Create a new story. The stories we tell ourselves influence our reality. If your current story doesn't serve you, change it. You have the power to rewrite your narrative. Speak the words that reflect the life you wish to create. Gratitude for yourself. Expressing gratitude for who you are and all that you've accomplished is a beautiful way to shift your perspective. Acknowledge the strengths, talents, and qualities that make you uniquely you. Trust in your inner wisdom. Your inner voice knows the truth about who you are. Trust that voice and speak to yourself with the understanding that you are divinely guided. When you listen and speak from that place of wisdom, transformation follows naturally. By cultivating loving, positive, and affirming self-talk, we can create lasting change. The shift happens when we begin to speak to ourselves as the beautiful, capable, and deserving beings we truly are. The words we speak to ourselves are not just words, they are seeds. Every time we speak, we are planting a seed in our mind, and that seed grows into the reality we experience. If we speak words of love, kindness, and possibility, we are nurturing a life filled with love, kindness, and endless potential. However, if we speak harshly or critically, we are sowing seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation. It is essential to understand that our words have power. And when we begin to speak to ourselves with respect and compassion, we begin to transform our lives. Each thought we think is an affirmation, whether we realize it or not. The way we speak to ourselves directly influences how we feel and what we believe is possible for us. If we tell ourselves we are capable, we start to see opportunities where we once saw obstacles. If we tell ourselves we are worthy, we begin to attract experiences that reflect that worth. Our words create a vibration that resonates through our entire being, sending messages to every cell of our body. Though we must choose those words with care. When we speak to ourselves with encouragement and positivity, we are aligning with the energy of love. This energy has the power to heal, to uplift, and to manifest miracles. It is easy to fall into the habit of criticizing ourselves or doubting our abilities, but we must recognize that these negative words only serve to limit us. Instead, we can choose words that lift us higher, that affirm our strength and potential. Every time we choose a word of empowerment, we are setting the stage for success and growth. Language has the ability to shape our thoughts, and our thoughts shape our reality. The more we affirm our worth and our abilities, the more we begin to see evidence of our greatness in the world around us. If we want to change our circumstances, we must first change the way we speak to ourselves. Our words are like the brushstrokes of an artist, each one creating a masterpiece. The more we speak with love and positivity, the more our lives reflect that love and positivity. Imagine the power of consistently speaking to yourself as you would to someone you deeply care about. How would you treat them? Would you be gentle with them? Would you encourage them? This is how we must speak to ourselves. When we speak from a place of love and understanding, we open the door to our own growth and transformation. We begin to believe in our worth, our potential, and our ability to create the life we desire. Negative self-talk often stems from old beliefs and patterns, but these are not truths. They are merely stories we have been telling ourselves. By changing the words we use, we can change the story we are living. Every time we replace a thought of fear or doubt with one of love and possibility, we are rewriting our narrative. This is how transformation happens. It's not about waiting for the world to change. It's about changing the way we speak to ourselves. Our minds are incredibly powerful, and when we speak with intention, we activate that power. Each positive word, each affirmation is like a spark that ignites the flame of our inner strength. The more we nurture that flame with loving words, the brighter our light becomes. When we speak to ourselves with respect, we affirm our worth, and we begin to see ourselves as worthy of all the good things life has to offer. Words can heal and they can hurt, but when we choose to speak with love and care, we create an environment of healing within ourselves. Our inner dialogue has the power to release old wounds and open the way for new experiences. When we speak with love, we are aligning with the energy of the universe, and that energy will always support us. We can trust that when we speak to ourselves with kindness, we are in harmony with the highest good. Self-talk is the foundation of our self-esteem and self-worth. How we speak to ourselves dictates how we feel about ourselves and how we show up in the world. If we want to cultivate confidence and inner peace, we must begin by speaking words of affirmation and love. Our words become the lens through which we see ourselves and the world, and when that lens is clear and loving, we begin to see possibilities everywhere. And we're so happy to have you here. It is so important to be aware of the words we use, not just in what we say to others, but in what we say to ourselves. Every thought and every word shapes our reality, and we have the power to choose the words that will serve us best. By speaking to ourselves with love, we open the door to new opportunities, growth, and healing. Each loving word is an invitation to a more joyful and fulfilling life. When we speak to ourselves with love, we are offering ourselves the greatest gift of all, healing. Our words are not just sounds. They are vibrations that echo through every part of us. The more we speak kindly to ourselves, the more we invite a deep sense of peace and harmony into our hearts. It's like offering a balm to a wound, soothing the places inside that need attention and care. Love has the power to heal even the deepest scars, and it all begins with how we talk to ourselves. Every word we speak holds an energy that communicates something to our inner being. When we speak words of love and encouragement, our mind and body receive the message that we are deserving of love, success, and happiness. These words nurture our spirit, helping us feel safe, worthy, and supported. When we speak negatively, on the other hand, we send the message that we are not enough. But when we change our language, we change our experience. and that transformation starts from within. Loving words act as affirmations, reinforcing the belief that we are deserving of all good things in life. When we repeat these affirmations, they begin to sink deep into our subconscious, replacing old beliefs of inadequacy with new beliefs of abundance and self-worth. The more we speak to ourselves with love, the more our external world reflects this love. We begin to attract situations, people, and opportunities that align with the love we are sending to ourselves. It's important to understand that the language we use in our inner dialogue is deeply powerful. When we speak to ourselves with kindness, we honor ourselves as we are, imperfections and all. We stop judging ourselves so harshly and start embracing ourselves as the beautiful, unique beings that we truly are. This shift in perspective opens the door to healing as we no longer hold on to self-criticism and guilt. Instead, we replace these negative thoughts with words that affirm our worth. When we use loving words, we activate a transformative process within us. Healing doesn't come from outside sources, it starts from within. The more we affirm our value and speak kindly to ourselves, the more we align with our true essence. We are not broken, we are whole. And when we speak from this place of wholeness, we begin to heal the parts of us that have been neglected or wounded by past experiences. Use both. Every loving word we speak to ourselves strengthens our sense of self-love and self-acceptance. It helps us remember who we truly are, beyond the mistakes, beyond the flaws. It's easy to fall into the trap of self-judgment and negativity, but when we consciously choose to speak with love, we reclaim our power. We remember that we are worthy, not because we are perfect, but because we are human and deserving of compassion. As we continue to speak loving words, we create a ripple effect in our lives. Our inner world changes, and as a result, our outer world begins to shift as well. The more we affirm our worth with loving words, the more we find ourselves surrounded by people who support and value us. Our relationships improve, our careers flourish, and our health thrives because we have first cultivated a loving relationship with ourselves. Loving words are the key to transformation because they are the language of the soul. They speak directly to the heart, bypassing the layers of doubt and fear. When we speak to ourselves with love, we affirm that we are enough just as we are. There is no need for perfection, no need to strive for something we already possess. Love is the foundation, and when we speak from this place, we allow ourselves to fully embrace the gifts and opportunities life has to offer. The impact of loving words is profound. They are like a gentle touch that nurtures our spirit, allowing us to heal and grow. When we speak to ourselves with love, we send a message to the universe that we are open to receiving all the good things that are meant for us. Our words create an environment where transformation can take place, and that transformation is fueled by the love we give ourselves. In each moment, we have the power to choose our words. If we choose words that uplift, that inspire, and that remind us of our inherent worth, we are choosing healing. And in doing so, we invite transformation into our lives. Healing begins with the way we speak to ourselves. And with each loving word, we step closer to the life we truly deserve. True transformation always starts within us. It's easy to look outside and think that change must come from external sources, our circumstances, other people, or the world at large. But the truth is that the key to lasting change lies within our own hearts and minds. When we begin to shift the way we speak to ourselves, we open up a whole new world of possibilities. We begin to see the potential in every situation and every moment. It all starts with the decision to choose different thoughts and words, and from that, everything else unfolds. The way we talk to ourselves is the foundation of how we experience life. If we continue to speak with criticism or judgment, we limit our growth and potential. But when we speak with compassion and understanding, we create space for new experiences to emerge. Self-compassion is a powerful tool because it allows us to embrace our humanity, imperfections, and all. It invites us to be gentle with ourselves as we navigate life's challenges, and in doing so, we give ourselves permission to evolve. Change doesn't have to be a big, overwhelming event. It can begin with a simple shift in perspective. Every time we replace self-criticism with self-compassion, we take a step toward transformation. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. The more we practice this new way of thinking and speaking, the more our lives begin to reflect that inner shift. We start to attract new opportunities, new relationships, and new experiences that align with the loving thoughts we are cultivating within. When we approach ourselves with understanding and kindness, we begin to unlock the doors to transformation. We realize that we are not stuck in our old patterns and limitations. We have the power to break free from them, and it all starts with the way we think about ourselves. This inner shift is the first step toward creating the life we truly desire. By changing the narrative in our minds, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and new ways of being. Self-compassion is the key that unlocks our ability to transform. It allows us to be patient with ourselves, to acknowledge where we've been, and to gently guide ourselves to where we want to go. When we speak to ourselves with love and kindness, we begin to view challenges as opportunities for growth. We no longer see ourselves as victims of circumstances, but as powerful creators of our own lives. This shift begins in the small moments, the moments when we catch ourselves being hard on ourselves and choose to respond with understanding. Each time we choose compassion over criticism, we are rewiring our minds and hearts for transformation. We are not defined by our past mistakes or our shortcomings. We are defined by our ability to learn, to grow, and to rise above them. When we approach life from a place of self-compassion, we shift our energy. We begin to radiate confidence, peace, and love. These vibrations attract people and experiences that reflect that same energy back to us. The world around us begins to shift because we are no longer in resistance. We have accepted ourselves fully, and in doing so, we allow the universe to work with us, not against us. The change we seek is already within us. It has always been there, waiting for us to acknowledge it. When we begin to speak to ourselves with compassion, we begin to see the truth of who we really are. Beautiful, capable, and deserving of all the good things life has to offer. This understanding opens the door to new experiences that are in alignment with our true essence. The key to transformation is in how we relate to ourselves. If we continue to speak to ourselves with judgment and harshness, we remain trapped in old patterns. But when we shift to self-compassion, we step into a new reality, one where we are free to explore, to grow, and to create the life we dream of. It's within our power to create this shift, and it all starts with the words we speak to ourselves. Every time we show ourselves understanding and kindness, we are planting the seeds of transformation. These seeds grow into a life that reflects the love and compassion we give to ourselves. The shift is subtle at first, but it builds over time, until one day we realize that our entire life has changed, not because of something outside of us, but because we decided to change the way we talk to ourselves. Negative self-talk has the power to hold us back in ways we may not even realize. Every critical thought, every moment of self-doubt is like a chain that binds us to the past and to our fears. These thoughts create a narrative that we begin to believe, and over time they shape the way we see ourselves and the world. But the beautiful truth is that we don't have to stay trapped in these limiting beliefs. The first step is simply becoming aware of them, recognizing when we are being unkind to ourselves, and in that awareness, we find the freedom to change. The key to releasing negative self-talk is practice. It's not something that happens overnight, and it's not always easy, but it is possible. When we catch ourselves criticizing or doubting our abilities, we can gently interrupt that thought pattern and replace it with an affirmation of self-worth. This shift may feel small at first, but each time we replace a negative thought with a positive one, we begin to rewire our minds. Over time, these affirmations become the new story we tell ourselves, and the old negative patterns lose their power. It's important to approach this process with patience and compassion. Negative self-talk is deeply ingrained in many of us, and it doesn't disappear instantly. But with each small change, we are creating a new way of thinking. We are learning to be kinder, gentler, and more supportive of ourselves. It's a practice, just like any other skill, and as we continue to affirm our worth, it becomes more natural to think positively and lovingly about ourselves. Replacing negative self-talk is an act of self-love. Every time we choose an affirmation that reminds us of our value, we are telling ourselves that we are worthy of love, happiness, and success. We are choosing to believe in our inherent greatness rather than focusing on our flaws. It's a powerful shift because it moves us from a place of self-criticism to a place of self-compassion. And this shift creates the foundation for healing and growth. With time and consistency, affirmations replace the old tapes of negativity that once played on a loop in our minds. The more we affirm our strengths and our worth, the more those thoughts begin to take root. We begin to see ourselves differently, not as failures or as inadequate, but as powerful, capable beings who are deserving of all the good things life has to offer. It's in this place of self-love and belief that we can truly thrive. Negative self-talk often stems from old beliefs, from past experiences where we were made to feel less than or unworthy. But the beautiful thing is that we are not those past experiences. We are not defined by the mistakes we've made or the judgments others have placed upon us. When we release negative self-talk, we are freeing ourselves from the past and stepping into the present moment where we are empowered to create a new future. Each time we replace negative self-talk with positive affirmations, we are choosing to honor ourselves. We are making the conscious decision to be our own best friend, to be our own biggest cheerleader. This practice builds our self-esteem and helps us see ourselves through a lens of love rather than fear. The more we practice, the more we become aligned with our true selves, and the more natural it feels to be kind and compassionate toward ourselves. The power of releasing negative self-talk is in the consistency. It's not about being perfect, it's about creating new habits. Every time we replace a critical thought with an affirming one, we are building a new way of thinking, one that reflects our true worth. And even on days when it feels hard, when the old patterns resurface, we simply begin again with compassion and understanding. As we practice replacing negative self-talk with affirmations, we begin to experience life differently. Our inner dialogue becomes more supportive, more empowering, and more aligned with the life we wish to create. We begin to trust ourselves more, to believe in our capabilities, and to know that we are worthy of love and success. And with that trust, we open ourselves to a world of possibilities that we once thought were beyond our reach. The journey of releasing negative self-talk is not about perfection, it's about progress. Each step we take towards self-love and self-compassion is a victory. And with every victory, we become stronger, more resilient, and more in tune with the truth of who we really are. Thank you. Affirmations are incredibly powerful tools for healing because they allow us to reshape the thoughts that no longer serve us. Every day we have the opportunity to choose the words we speak to ourselves, and these words have the ability to shift our energy, our mindset, and our reality. When we affirm statements like "I am worthy," I am enough, or I deserve happiness. We are not simply repeating empty words. We are reminding ourselves of the truth of who we are. These affirmations are reminders that we are deserving of love, success, and joy, regardless of past experiences or self-doubt. Each affirmation is an act of self-love because it acknowledges our inherent worth. Often, we may find ourselves questioning our value, especially during times of struggle or hardship. But affirmations remind us that our worth is not determined by external circumstances, but by our divine nature. When we repeat affirmations daily, we begin to internalize them, and they gradually replace the old limiting beliefs that have held us back for so long. It's like planting seeds of love and confidence that will grow within us over time. Affirmations are not just words. They are energetic declarations that align us with our true selves. When we speak words of love, we activate the energy of love within us. Our words are like magnets that draw to us the very things we affirm. By saying, I am worthy, we invite worthiness into our lives. By saying, I am enough, we affirm that we don't need to prove ourselves to anyone. We already have everything we need within us. These affirmations help us see ourselves clearly, without the distortion of fear or doubt. As we continue to repeat affirmations, we begin to rewrite the story we have been telling ourselves. Instead of focusing on our flaws or mistakes, we start to see our strengths, our beauty, and our potential. Affirmations remind us that we are constantly growing, learning, and evolving. They are a reminder that we are worthy of everything we desire, that we have the power to create the life we envision. This shift in thinking is one of the most profound aspects of healing, and the practice of affirmations also helps to create a strong sense of self-trust. The more we affirm our worth, the more we begin to believe in ourselves. We stop waiting for external validation, and we begin to give ourselves the love and approval we once sought from others. Affirmations help us build a solid foundation of self-love, which allows us to stand tall in the face of challenges, knowing that we are enough just as we are. Affirmations create a space where healing can take place. When we affirm our worth and value, we are healing the wounds of the past and letting go of old patterns that no longer serve us. These positive statements replace the negative thoughts that once held us captive, creating space for growth and transformation. Repeating affirmations daily is a way of sending healing energy to our minds, bodies, and spirits, allowing us to let go of fear and step into our true power. The beauty of affirmations is that they can be personalized to meet our unique needs. Whether we need to affirm our worth, our creativity, our health, or our ability to succeed, we can create statements that resonate with us on a deep level. These affirmations become anchors in our daily lives, reminding us that we are capable of achieving whatever we set our minds to. With time and practice, affirmations become a natural part of who we are, shaping our beliefs and our reality. When we use affirmations, we are actively participating in our own healing process. We are choosing to no longer be defined by our past, by our mistakes, or by the opinions of others. We are defining ourselves by the truth of who we are, worthy, capable, and deserving of all the love and abundance life has to offer. Affirmations are the keys that unlock the doors of self-compassion and self-love, and through them, we create a life that reflects our highest potential. So, the power of affirmations lies in their consistency. The more we repeat them, the more deeply they become ingrained in our subconscious mind. What was once a foreign idea, like believing we are worthy or enough, becomes a deeply felt truth. Over time, this constant reinforcement leads to profound change in how we see ourselves and how we approach the world. Through daily affirmations, we are not only healing old wounds, but we are also creating a new future for ourselves, one rooted in self-love and self-empowerment. Affirmations are tools for transformation because they encourage us to focus on the positive, to see ourselves as we truly are, and to step into the life we are meant to live. Every time we repeat an affirmation, we are choosing healing, we are choosing growth, and we are choosing to love ourselves unconditionally. These simple statements have the power to change everything. Self-forgiveness is an essential step in the healing process because it allows us to release the heavy burdens of guilt and shame. We all make mistakes. It's part of being human. But the key to healing lies in recognizing that we are not our mistakes. Our mistakes do not define us. They are simply moments of learning, growth, and evolution. When we speak to ourselves with compassion, we give ourselves the permission to let go of the past and to embrace the present moment with love and understanding. And I think that's why grief can be traced long-lastingly into this. The act of self-forgiveness is an act of self-love. It is a gentle reminder that we are worthy of love, even when we falter. It's easy to be hard on ourselves when we make mistakes, to fall into the trap of self-criticism and blame. But when we choose to forgive ourselves, we open the door to healing. We stop holding on to the past and allow ourselves to move forward with a renewed sense of grace. Self-forgiveness creates a space where we can release the negativity we've been holding on to, making room for growth, learning, and transformation. When we speak to ourselves with compassion, we create an environment where self-forgiveness becomes possible. We stop beating ourselves up for our mistakes and instead offer ourselves understanding and empathy. Just as we would comfort a friend who is struggling, we can comfort ourselves by saying, "It's okay. You are still worthy of love and happiness. You made a mistake, but that doesn't make you a mistake." These words help to release the emotional charge that guilt and shame carry, allowing us to heal from the inside out. Self-forgiveness frees us from the grip of guilt, which can weigh us down and keep us stuck in the past. It allows us to see ourselves with fresh eyes, eyes that recognize our inherent worth and goodness. When we forgive ourselves, we stop punishing ourselves for what we've done or failed to do, and instead, we open ourselves up to the possibility of new beginnings. We are not defined by our past actions, but by our ability to learn, grow, and make better choices in the future. Forgiving ourselves doesn't mean we forget our mistakes or dismiss the impact they may have had. It simply means we choose not to let those mistakes define our future. Self-forgiveness is not about excusing harmful behavior. It's about acknowledging that we are human and we are always learning. When we talk to ourselves with compassion, we understand that we are not perfect, and that's okay. Perfection is not the goal. Growth and learning are. When we practice self-forgiveness, we allow ourselves to be free from the shackles of shame and guilt. We stop carrying the weight of past mistakes, which can be emotionally and mentally exhausting. Instead, we create space for joy, peace, and self-compassion. This freedom allows us to step into our true power, unburdened by the fears and doubts that have held us back for so long. Self-forgiveness also opens the door to transformation. When we let go of guilt and shame, we allow ourselves to see the lessons in our mistakes, which are often the most powerful teachers. Instead of getting stuck in regret, we begin to see how our mistakes have shaped us and helped us grow into stronger, wiser versions of ourselves. Self-forgiveness enables us to move forward with a sense of clarity and purpose, knowing that we are always capable of becoming the best version of ourselves. We must remember that self-forgiveness is a practice, not a one-time event. It may take time to fully release the grip of guilt and shame, especially if we've been holding on to them for a long time. But with each act of self-compassion, each kind word we speak to ourselves, we move closer to healing. It's a journey, and it's important to be patient with ourselves as we navigate it. The more we practice self-forgiveness, the more natural it becomes, and the more we create a life rooted in love, peace, and acceptance. The beauty of self-forgiveness is that it allows us to reclaim our personal power. It frees us from the cycle of negative self-judgment and allows us to approach life with an open heart. We are not our mistakes, but the love and compassion we offer ourselves are what truly define us. When we forgive ourselves, we let go of the past and embrace the present, knowing that each new day is an opportunity for growth and renewal. Self-forgiveness is the key to unlocking the door to self-acceptance. It is the path that leads us to a place of inner peace, where we no longer feel burdened by our past actions or regrets. When we speak to ourselves with kindness and compassion, we give ourselves the gift of freedom. The freedom to grow, to change, and to become the person we are meant to be. Our past and future are connected to the universe and the transformation we are meant to be. Imagine for a moment that you are your own best friend. How would you speak to yourself in times of doubt, struggle, or fear? Would you criticize yourself? Or would you offer words of love and support? Most of us would never dream of speaking to our friends the way we sometimes speak to ourselves. Yet we often engage in harsh self-talk, believing that it will push us to improve or succeed. But the truth is, just like a dear friend, you deserve to hear words of encouragement, kindness, and belief in your potential. It's time to start being your own biggest supporter. You are merely in the passenger seat, and this is where our shadow really comes in. When you begin to treat yourself as your own best friend, you shift the way you see yourself. You stop being your harshest critic and start being your greatest cheerleader. A best friend wouldn't call you a failure for making a mistake. Instead, they would remind you of your strength and resilience. They would say, "It's okay, you're doing your best, and you will get through this." When you speak to yourself with the same love and compassion you offer to others, you begin to create a nurturing, supportive relationship with yourself. Being your own best friend means offering yourself the same grace you offer others. When your friends face challenges, you encourage them to keep going, to believe in themselves, and to trust that they are capable of overcoming whatever comes their way. Why not offer yourself the same encouragement? You are just as worthy of love and support as anyone else, and you are just as capable of achieving your dreams. By speaking to yourself with kindness, you create an environment where you can flourish and grow. Being your own cheerleader doesn't mean ignoring areas of growth or improvement. It means approaching those areas with love and compassion. When you focus on your potential rather than your perceived flaws, you shift your mindset. You begin to see yourself as someone who is constantly evolving, someone who is worthy of success and happiness. Instead of criticizing yourself for what you haven't done, you celebrate the small wins and remind yourself that you are always moving forward, even on the tough days. When you speak to yourself in the same way you would speak to a dear friend, you open yourself up to a world of possibility. Your words of encouragement have the power to lift you up, to inspire action, and to ignite the belief that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Just as you would never let a friend give up on themselves, you must learn to never give up on you. You are your own greatest ally, and by speaking to yourself with love, you build a strong foundation of self-belief and confidence. You deserve to hear words of kindness, even when things aren't going the way you want. When you're facing a challenge or feeling discouraged, instead of listening to the negative chatter in your mind, replace it with positive affirmations. Tell yourself, "I am doing the best I can. I am strong and I am capable of handling this." When you start speaking to yourself this way, you begin to shift your energy and your perspective. You remind yourself that setbacks are just part of the journey, not signs of failure. Being your own best friend means practicing self-compassion, especially in moments when you fall short or make mistakes. A true friend would not abandon you or judge you harshly for your missteps. They would offer a loving, gentle reminder that you are still worthy of love and that you are still enough, no matter what. When you treat yourself with this same level of care, you create space for healing, growth, and transformation. It's important to remember that being your own best friend isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily practice. Just as you make the effort to support your friends, you must make the effort to support yourself. It's about consistently choosing to speak to yourself with love, to encourage yourself, and to believe in your ability to create the life you desire. Every time you choose to be kind to yourself, you are building a relationship with yourself based on trust, compassion, and belief in your potential. You are captivating yourself, and you are training your brain chemistry to find peace, compassion, and belief in your potential. When you become your own cheerleader, you stop waiting for others to validate your worth. You recognize that your value isn't dependent on outside approval. It's inherent within you. You have everything you need to succeed, and you are already enough. By speaking to yourself with encouragement and belief, you align yourself with your highest potential and open the doors to endless possibilities. The most beautiful part about being your own best friend is that you never have to face life's challenges alone. With every loving word you speak to yourself, you build a bond of self-trust and resilience. You remind yourself that no matter what comes your way, you are capable of handling it, and you are deserving of all the love, success, and happiness life has to offer. When you cheer for yourself, you create the space to thrive, to grow, and to embrace the limitless potential within you. The stories we tell ourselves are incredibly powerful because they shape the reality we experience. Every thought, every belief, every word we speak to ourselves contributes to the narrative we live by. If we see ourselves as victims of circumstance, that is what we will continue to attract. If we tell ourselves that we are not worthy, we will constantly find evidence to reinforce that belief. But the good news is that we are not stuck in any one story. We have the power to change our narrative at any time. The story you tell yourself today does not have to be the story you tell tomorrow. And since we only have about a second to reprogram our minds, I'm just going to say this once more to alleviate some stress. I'm just going to say this once more. When we begin to rewrite our story, we take control of our lives. We stop letting past experiences define us and start choosing a new path. This shift in perspective allows us to see our challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. We can decide that our past mistakes don't determine our future, and that the power to create change lies within us. By speaking the words that reflect the life we wish to create, we align ourselves with our deepest desires and set the stage for transformation. It's important to remember that you are the author of your story. You have the power to decide what happens next. If your current narrative is filled with self-doubt, limitation, or fear, it's time to rewrite it. Instead of saying, "I can't," choose to say, "I am capable of anything I set my mind to." Instead of saying, "This will never work," choose to say, "I am open to new possibilities." The more you speak these empowering words, the more they will become your truth. The beauty of rewriting your story is that it's not about erasing the past, but about choosing to no longer be defined by it. It's about understanding that every day is a new opportunity to create a different reality. When you speak words that reflect the life you want to live, you begin to shift your energy. You begin to attract the circumstances, people, and opportunities that match the new story you are telling. It's like planting seeds of possibility and watching them grow into the reality you've always dreamed of. To create a new story, you must first believe that it's possible. You must believe that you are deserving of the life you want and that you have the power to create it. This belief is the foundation upon which your new story is built. If you find yourself doubting, simply remind yourself that you are capable of more than you can imagine. Each positive affirmation you speak reinforces this belief and strengthens your ability to manifest the life you desire. Your words are the building blocks of your new story. When you choose to speak with intention, you create a narrative that supports your dreams. Instead of focusing on what isn't working, focus on what is possible. Speak about your goals as if they are already happening, and see yourself living the life you desire. This positive self-talk rewires your brain, shifting your focus from scarcity to abundance, from fear to faith, and from limitation to limitless potential. Changing your story isn't just about positive thinking. It's about aligning your actions with the words you speak. When you start to speak a new story, you also start to make decisions that reflect that story. If your new narrative is one of success, you'll begin taking steps toward your goals with confidence. If your new story is one of love and acceptance, you'll treat yourself with more kindness and compassion. Your words create your reality, and when your actions align with your words, magic happens. It's important to be patient with yourself as you create a new story. Change takes time, and it may feel uncomfortable at first. But every time you speak words of empowerment and possibility, you are building a foundation for your new life. Each time you tell yourself that you are worthy, capable, and deserving of success, you are reinforcing the belief that this is your truth. With time and consistency, your new story will become your new reality. You have the power to rewrite your narrative, no matter where you've come from or what challenges you've faced. Your past does not define you, your words do. You can create a life of love, abundance, and fulfillment by speaking the words that reflect that life. The more you speak your new story, the more it will come to life. The story of your future is waiting to be written, and you are the author. Choose the words that reflect the life you desire and watch as your reality transforms before your eyes. Remember, the stories we tell ourselves are not set in stone. They are constantly evolving, just like we are. Every time you change the way you speak to yourself, you create a new chapter in your story. The more you align your words with your desires, the more you will see those desires manifest in your life. You have the power to create the life you've always wanted, and it all starts with the words you choose to speak. Rewrite your story today and step into the life you were always meant to live. Gratitude is a transformative practice, and it's just as important to express gratitude for yourself as it is for the world around you. Too often we focus on what we haven't achieved or what we still want to accomplish, forgetting to pause and appreciate the journey we've already traveled. When you take the time to express gratitude for who you are and all that you've done, you shift your perspective from scarcity to abundance. You begin to see how far you've come, and you realize that you are already whole, worthy, and capable of even more. Expressing gratitude for yourself is a practice of self-recognition. It's about acknowledging all the strengths, talents, and qualities that make you uniquely you. It's easy to overlook your own gifts, especially when you're constantly looking outside yourself for validation. But when you start to focus on what you've accomplished and the positive traits that define you, you begin to see yourself in a new light. You are not just someone going through the motions of life. You are a person filled with incredible potential, and you deserve to celebrate who you are. Gratitude for yourself helps you recognize your worth. It's easy to get caught up in self-doubt and criticism, but when you take a moment to reflect on everything you've done and everything you are, you realize that you've already accomplished so much. You have overcome challenges, learned new lessons, and grown in ways you may not even be fully aware of. By expressing gratitude for yourself, you honor your journey and affirm your value. You stop waiting for someone else to acknowledge your worth because you recognize it within yourself. When you express gratitude for yourself, you begin to build a deeper sense of self-love. Gratitude is a practice of appreciation, and when you appreciate who you are, you create a space for more love, compassion, and acceptance in your life. This love doesn't depend on external validation, it comes from within. When you acknowledge your strengths, talents, and the qualities that make you special, you reinforce the truth that you are enough just as you are. You deserve to be loved, and it starts with loving yourself first. Taking time to express gratitude for yourself also helps to shift your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. Instead of worrying about the things you haven't achieved or the goals you haven't yet reached, you begin to appreciate all the things you've already manifested. This simple shift in mindset opens the door to more blessings as you start to attract more of what you're grateful for. Gratitude expands your heart and energy, and as you give thanks for who you are, you naturally invite more opportunities for growth and success. The beauty of gratitude for yourself is that it connects you to your own power. When you appreciate yourself, you acknowledge the strength that has carried you through challenges, the creativity that fuels your dreams, and the kindness that radiates from your soul. Every accomplishment, no matter how small, deserves recognition. Every effort you've made, every lesson learned, and every step forward you've taken is worth celebrating. Gratitude helps you see the richness of your life, even when it feels like you have far to go. And gratitude for yourself also nurtures your inner peace. When you stop criticizing yourself and start celebrating your unique qualities, you create an inner sense of harmony. You realize that you are a work in progress, and that's okay. You don't need to be perfect to be worthy of gratitude. You are deserving of appreciation simply for being you. Flaws, strengths, and everything in between. Self-gratitude allows you to embrace all parts of yourself, even the parts that you may have once overlooked or judged harshly. Expressing gratitude for yourself is also a reminder that you are always evolving. It's easy to look at where you are and feel like it's not enough, but gratitude helps you see the progress you've made. Reflect on the person you were last year or even last month and acknowledge how much you've grown. You are constantly learning, expanding, and stepping into your true potential. Gratitude for yourself helps you honor this growth and reminds you that you are always moving forward. The act of expressing gratitude for yourself is a practice that shifts your energy. It fills you with positivity and helps you see life from a higher perspective. It reminds you that you are worthy of success, love, and happiness. The more you express gratitude for who you are, the more you create an abundant, positive mindset. It's a beautiful cycle. Gratitude for yourself leads to more love, and more love leads to even more things to be grateful for. You become a magnet for abundance because you are actively choosing to acknowledge the beauty of who you are. Remember, gratitude isn't reserved for the big achievements. It's for everything you are and everything you've done, no matter how small it may seem. When you express gratitude for yourself, you align yourself with the truth of your worth. You are an amazing, unique individual, and you have so much to offer the world. By appreciating who you are, you begin to create a life that reflects that deep appreciation. By giving thanks for yourself, you generate love and appreciation. Gratitude for yourself opens the door to even greater things. And it all starts with recognizing the incredible person you already are. Trusting your inner wisdom is one of the most profound acts of self-love and empowerment. Deep within you there is a voice, a quiet, steady whisper that knows the truth of who you are. This voice is not swayed by outside opinions, past mistakes, or fears. It is the voice of your higher self, the part of you that is always connected to the divine guidance and wisdom of the universe. Trusting this voice is the key to aligning with your true purpose, because it always knows what is best for you. It has the answers to the questions you've been seeking, and it will never lead you astray. And sometimes that spirit that's living in a fear of promises that really have no meaning is the part of us that knows it the most. When you speak to yourself in this place of inner wisdom, you open the door to profound transformation. The truth is that you are already everything you need to be. You don't have to look outside yourself for validation, because the wisdom you seek is already within you. This voice is always available to you, patiently waiting for you to listen and trust its guidance. When you begin to speak from this place of wisdom, your words become more powerful. They reflect your innate understanding of your worth, and they carry with them the energy of alignment and purpose. And together they create a feeling of security and satisfaction in life. Thanks for tuning in. Trusting your inner wisdom means allowing yourself to be guided by your intuition, even when it doesn't make sense to the logical mind. Often our minds try to control situations, to figure things out, or to force outcomes. But when you trust in your inner wisdom, you let go of the need to control and allow life to unfold in its natural flow. Your inner voice knows what is meant for you, and it will guide you to the right opportunities, the right people, and the right experiences. Trust that this guidance is divinely inspired and that you are always being led in the direction of your highest good. The more you listen to and trust your inner wisdom, the more natural it becomes to speak to yourself with love, kindness, and understanding. You stop questioning your worth or doubting your abilities. You begin to recognize that you are divinely guided in all things. This trust becomes the foundation for every decision you make, and it infuses your life with a sense of ease and confidence. You no longer feel lost or uncertain because you know deep within that you are always being supported by a wisdom that is far greater than your honor. When you speak from a place of inner wisdom, you naturally begin to release old patterns of self-doubt, fear, and insecurity. These limiting beliefs no longer have the power to hold you back because you are anchored in the truth of your own guidance. You start to recognize that you are not defined by your past or by what others say about you. Your worth is intrinsic, and your inner voice knows it. By trusting that voice and speaking from it, you align yourself with the infinite wisdom that is always available to you, and transformation becomes a natural result. Another key, trusting your inner wisdom, is also an act of self-compassion. You are giving yourself permission to stop striving, to stop trying to be something you are not, and to simply be who you are meant to be. Your inner wisdom understands the truth about you, the parts of you that are worthy, capable, and deserving of all the good things life has to offer. It knows that your path is unique, and it will always guide you in the direction that is best for you. When you listen and speak from this place, you honor your true self and create the space for growth and transformation to flow effortlessly into your life. Transformation happens naturally when you trust in your inner wisdom because it aligns you with your highest self. It guides you toward choices that reflect your deepest values and desires. It helps you step into your power, knowing that you are divinely supported at all times. You start to make decisions that feel right, that bring you joy, and that align with your purpose. The more you trust in this inner guidance, the more your life begins to shift in a way that reflects the truth of who you are. You are divinely guided, and when you speak to yourself from that knowing, everything begins to fall into place. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You start to recognize synchronicities and signs that lead you to your next steps. Trusting your inner wisdom is a process of surrendering to the flow of life, knowing that everything you need is already inside of you. Instead of allowing your mind skirting around the edges of a problem and trying to find a solution to the problem already solved, when you listen and speak from this place of trust, You align with the highest version of yourself, and transformation becomes inevitable. Remember, your inner wisdom is always available to you. It is not something you have to earn or work for. It is already within you, patiently waiting for you to acknowledge it. Trusting that voice is an act of faith in yourself and in the divine guidance that is always present. The more you listen, the stronger this connection becomes, and the more natural it is to speak to yourself with the understanding that you are always guided and supported. When you speak from this place, transformation follows naturally, and you step into the fullness of who you are always meant to be. When I talk to myself with love and compassion, I begin to shift the energy within me. The words I speak to myself shape the reality I experience. And when I choose to speak from a place of kindness, I create an environment where healing can thrive. The power of my words is profound, and when I nurture myself with positive affirmations, I open the door to endless possibilities. Every word I speak becomes an invitation for transformation. For it is through my own voice that I can begin to create the life I desire. As I begin to speak to myself with understanding and self-compassion, I start to let go of old patterns of doubt and fear. I recognize that I am worthy of love, success, and happiness, and it is through this acknowledgement that I free myself from the limitations I once imposed. The shift starts within, and as I nurture my own soul, I begin to see the world differently. I no longer seek validation from outside sources, for I know that the validation I need is already within me. The more I speak to myself from a place of wisdom, the more I trust in my inner guidance. I no longer question my worth or my ability to create change, because I know that I am divinely supported at every turn. As I align with my inner truth, I allow the universe to guide me toward experiences that reflect the love and abundance I am worthy of. Each loving word I speak to myself strengthens my connection to my higher self, and transformation becomes a natural part of my journey. In every moment, I have the power to choose the words I speak. I can choose words of encouragement, love, and self-belief, knowing that these words have the ability to reshape my reality. I am not bound by the limitations of my past or the judgments of others. Through the simple act of speaking to myself with kindness, I open the door to healing, growth, and empowerment. The shift begins within, and as I continue to speak from a place of love, I align myself with the life I truly desire. As I speak to myself with love, trust, and wisdom, I am reminded that I'm always divinely guided. Every step I take, every word I speak, brings me closer to the truth of who I am and the life I'm meant to live. When I trust in the power of my words, I begin to create a life that reflects my deepest desires. The shift starts with me, and through the power of self-love and positive self-talk, I transform my reality, one word at a time.